Hey guys, this is Dr. Sandy wishing you a very, very happy new year. I think we can all agree we want 2020 to go in the past. We're looking forward to 2021. I hope most of us are feeling optimistic that this should be a better year. Uh, as I said, 2020 was a tough year, and we're just looking forward to 2021. And as we enter the new year, I think a lot of us reflect on New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips on how to help with that. And as I share this video with you, I'm sure there's going to be some people like, Dr. Sandy, I'm ready. Just give me those tips. I want to make this a big year of change. And then there's going to be other people who are like, been there, done that. I just, whatever, man. It's just another day. I don't make resolutions. It's not my thing. Or some people, I also encourage this. Some people will be like, why do I wait till New Year's Day? I'm just making resolutions throughout the year, which is fantastic. But these are tips, whether you're listening to this and it's the new year, if it's any time of the year, these are just tips on helping you achieve more out of life. But I think all of us around this time of the year, you reflect, you look back and go, hey, how can I make my following year better? I think on some level we ask ourselves that. So here's my top 5 tips. So number one, question your internal software. And please, as I share this with you, I want to say this to you. I am a work in progress. I'm sharing these principles with you. I have to implement it. I still want to get better and better. I've been 20 years in the space of health and wellness, being a chiropractor, but I am learning every day. And sometimes you've heard things that you need to do, and that's great. There's a difference between listening and actually doing it, taking the right action. So I am a human being. I still have my stuff that I'm going through. So please, as I share this with you, I'm coming from a place of my own journey. I'm also growing, I'm also learning, and I want you to feel that I'm not coming from a place like I got this all down. I'm learning. So please take take it from that place. So number one, question your internal software. So do you have belief systems that are holding you back? If I smell food, I gain weight. Exercise doesn't work for me. Why set a New Year's resolution? I'll probably break it in 24 hours. So if you have those belief systems, you need to question them. And maybe you have belief systems that worked before where like, okay, I'm going to work out 7 days a week, no matter what, hour and a half in the gym. And again, like as I share this with you, if that stuff works for you, great. But maybe you're at a different stage in your life. Maybe you're married, you have kids, your work has changed, and sustaining that schedule or lifestyle is just harder now. I will tell you what I need to work on as I share, and I'm telling you, like, of course, I'm a human being. I gotta make more time for rest and sleep. I think there's this internal thing in me that like, oh, there's so much to do, and I like to read and I like to learn, um, but we need to rest. And there's still a part of me, and I still battle with this, where I sometimes say, oh, rest. What are you doing when you rest? Like, we should be productive, and I find my sleep was getting neglected. I go through these phases where I'm good about it, then I don't sleep enough. And then what I did over the holidays, I was actually studying YouTube videos, different presenters just sharing their thoughts on why sleep is valuable and learning from it. And I need to hear that. I still need, no matter where you are in life, I think we should always have an attitude that we're a student, that we're learning, we need to get information. And so I made a commitment going into the new year. That's something I'm going to do. This holiday, just to start off with, usually in the holidays, my sleep goes all over the place, and definitely there were some late nights. But the good thing is, I was getting more sleep than usual, and I felt the difference. I kind of did my own sleep experiment over the holidays, and I felt the difference. It really felt good. So this is something I'm going to try to implement. But there's a part of my software that used to say sleep is a waste. You hear people say, "Oh, I'll sleep one day whenever when I retire or something." That's not cool, and it's good to work hard, but a lot of the people I respect, they value sleep. They make sleep a priority, and I have to change my story, my narrative about sleep. Sleep should be a time to rejuvenate, a time to heal, a time to repair. I mean, even if you look at this, I'm taping this on my phone. What does a phone need to do? As much as I use it, I got to charge that thing, right? We need to recharge when we sleep. I got to change that story. I got to see that it's not just that I'm lying there doing nothing. The body's going through a lot of changes. It's going through the healing repair so I can be productive the next day. So, do you have belief systems? Do you have stories that you need to reevaluate? So, I want you to think about that. Number two, choose one big domino. Now, again, these are all suggestions. If you're the kind of person, I do 14 goals, I'm going to hit everything in the first 6 months. That's awesome. I can probably learn from you. But for a lot of us, especially the hard challenges, it takes time, it takes work, and This might be the fourth, fifth time we're trying that thing again. So my suggestion to you is choose the one big domino. What does that mean? The one big domino that would knock everything down, that would make the huge difference in your life. And using myself as an example, I know if I get enough rest, everything in my life would be better. I'd be consistent with my exercise. Just a lot of things would be on a higher level. So instead of saying, 18 things, maybe say this will be the focus. I'll have sub goals, but I know if I focus on this one thing, a lot of my life would get better. So something to consider. Um, Number 3, think small to get big results. What does that mean? You are just looking to make incremental changes. So for me, again, just using myself as an example, to say I'm going to go to bed every night by 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., probably unrealistic. But if I start to tell myself, you know what, making sure I get to bed before midnight, because there's been nights I've definitely gone before that, but just getting consistent with the sleep, saying that this is my sleep time, and start reverse engineering it, telling myself that last hour to unwind. If I do want to read something, and then there's a cutoff time, but make it easy for you, make it realistic, and maybe have a schedule, maybe check off the days that you are hitting your targets, but make it realistic. When I've met people who said, okay, I've never worked out in 10 years, next week, 7 days a week for the rest of the year, I'm going to work out. I'm going to work out 2-3 times a day, 1 hour each time. I mean, it's just, maybe they could, but I think that's a lot of inertia. I think that's a lot of effort mentally, physically to get through that. So maybe if you have an exercise, maybe just say, okay, I'm going to walk 3 days a week, do the baby steps. I know it doesn't sound as exciting, but long term, I think that'd be the better way to do it. That was number 3. Number 4, give yourself grace. You should go in looking into this year with your target saying, I know every day I may not eat perfect. I know every day I may not get enough sleep. I know every day I may not exercise, but put that into the goal, put that into the equation. You're going for 80-20 rule. 80% if I can hit my target, 20% I'll give myself grace. I think that's a better way to look at it. You are looking for progression. You're not looking for perfection. You just want to say that, hey, I'm getting better. And maybe your target this year is to get better by 10%, maybe 15%. And I know that goes against a lot of books that are like, 300% change this year and stuff. And if that happens, that's great. But over a lifetime, I think it'd be more impressive that each year you make changes that are sustainable. You build a new foundation, and then you set another target, and then you build, opposed to like you do all this great stuff, but then you lose it the next year, and then you go up and down. I think it's good to build a foundation and say that's my new normal, and build it up over a lifetime. That's how you may want to look at it. I think another thing you need to do as well is become a student. So what does that mean? That means that imagine your goal is to lose the weight. So what you can do is read books, watch YouTube videos about losing weight, different people, different philosophies, and then imagine that in a month from now, you'll be a presenter, that you're going to create a seminar talking about maybe losing weight or how to exercise effectively. Kind of become like an expert. And then next time you're in a conversation with someone, or you can share information with your loved ones, you can kind of become that person and say, hey, this is what I'm learning, guys. And then you kind of help other people, maybe even coach them or whatever that is, or give them tips. And I think as you learn the material and you share it, you get ownership, you're more likely to follow through on those goals. I'm going to say another one as well. I guess this would be number 6, control your environment. So for me, a big thing is environment. So what does that mean? So like, for example, having the sweets, we're getting out of the holidays. I'll be open with you in our kitchen. There's a lot of chocolate all over the place. There's easy access anytime you're going in. In years past, I'd probably get that stuff and throw it in the garbage. Now what I did is because the family didn't like me doing that, now I'll get that candy and I'll just put it on a very high shelf. I put it in these inconvenient places. So it's still there, but it's just too much effort. So you're just not eating it as much, right? For me, working out, I love to work out in a place with sunshine. So in my basement, we kind of have like a home gym set up. But I find if I work out in my family room with the sunlight, just the vibe and stuff, it works better for me. So I've made it easier to work out, and I made it harder to have the sweets. So do the same thing with your environment. Make it so you're going to win. Make it easier to achieve your goals. So look at your environment as well. So I hope this helps. What I'm going to try my best this year is to give you more content, whether you work with me as a patient or not, but I just want to inspire you. I want to get you on that right path. If you even walk away with 1 or 2 ideas, that'd be fantastic. But my goal is just to make your life better, focus on health and well-being, positivity, because I think we need more of that. And please, if you're enjoying this information, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe. If you're enjoying, you can hit that like button, as they say. But I want you to enjoy, get this information, use this information, and I wish you nothing but the best for 2021. God bless. Wishing you much health, wealth, prosperity, much joy to you and your family, and God bless you.